My name's Dave Henry. I'm the regional forester. Other people here from the Game Commission. Scott Bill's there, Scott. Bruce Metz, our land management supervisor. Scott's the local land manager here. Randy Bauman, who's my assistant regional forester, and Andy Weaver, who is one of my foresters. So we're all here to try to help, educate, provide information, etc. on what's going to happen here today. We're going to go out here and go down Pinch Road and stop at the top of the hill and look at timber management for a sale that's marked to be sold right now. Talk a little bit about gypsy moth and those issues. Look at results adjacent to there. Come back through here. Drive in this road here. Go through this gate. And we're going to stop for a couple minutes to look at a deer fence. Scott Bills is then going to stop at a series of food plots and talk about his food plot management and what he's doing there. We're going to stop at a regeneration harvest. The next stop after that to look at results and what kind of habitat we've created 3 years after harvesting. And the final area we're going to end up with is over by our maintenance headquarters building outside of Colebrook, and Scott's going to talk about his rabbit management program there. That's the overall game plan of what we're looking to do. So there'll be some information on a little bit of everything. If you have questions, this is very informal. If I can't answer it, I'll ask Scott. And this is not Dave Henry's tour. This is the Game Commission tour. This is a Game Commission tour. Tim Smith's here, our WCO. Brian Sheets is a deputy here. He's here also. We're all here to try to help and answer some questions, things like that. So you don't have to just talk to Dave Henry. You can talk to anybody and get answers.
Hey, Bruce, just wanted to add, Dave, probably our newest commissioner is with us right here on Mr. Wiener.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
So I believe you're our newest, aren't you? Or is there, yes, I'm the newest. Yep. So he's representing a good portion of the
area here, just to the south here.
Yep.
Do you have any comments, Mr. Christian?
Well, I'm excited to be here. I just started on the commission in June, and so I do represent the area that includes Lebanon County, also the whole south central Lebanon over to Franklin up to Snyder County. So I guess if you want to complain to someone or something like that, these guys have the answers. I'll listen to the complaints.
Okay. All right, once again, thanks everybody for coming here. We're standing, this is State Game Lands 145 like we talked about. The reason we walked in right here, the orange stripes here represent where we're going to put in our road entrance off of Pinch Road to harvest this site. This is a gypsy moth impacted site. What does that mean? A little bit of the history of the site here. 2006, there was light to moderate defoliation in this site, a building gypsy moth population, meaning the egg masses were starting to come up, and we'll look at egg masses and talk about gypsy moth specifically here in a second. In 2007, this site was totally defoliated. Gypsy moth will consume all deciduous trees except for tulip poplar, and black gum seem to be the two that they really don't like. There must be something chemically in the leaves that they do not like. Short of that, they will consume the leaves. This is predominantly a mixed oak stand, meaning it has a mix of different oak species, from red oak to black oak to scarlet oak to chestnut oak to white oak. 5 most common oaks in Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, the Pennsylvania Game Commission did not conduct any gypsy moth spray, has never done so till this year. So the result is this site was sprayed in May of 2008, this past spring. And what it did for us is kept our reserve trees, our healthy oak, alive. Those trees that were stressed or already on their way out, the spray did not help.
They were dead before.
They were dead. They were dead last fall. Most of them were dead last fall. They did not relieve. When you stand here and look around, you can see trees. When you look up, some of them have brown leaves. Let's see if I can find one. Of course, stand. Okay. Anyway, what happened was the tree pushed leaves in the spring. We've had a pretty dry August into September prior to the rains last week and this week, and the tree was already severely stressed, and it did not have enough nutrient take up to keep the tree alive, and the tree died. It's dying right now with the brown leaves on. That's what it's selling us. It's an unfortunate situation. Next spring there'll be additional mortality in here. Some of the trees that relieved and seemingly did okay this year are going to start to go next year. We've found on these sites that we get anywhere from 20 to 25% additional mortality over what we see here today, over about a 3-year time period. So it's a continuing stress on the plant, on the tree, as a result of the inability of the plant and the leaves to put enough food down in the root system to sustain the plant. That's pretty simple, but that's what it does. We have a whole host of conditions here on this particular site. The bottom line is here, there is not enough live material left here to direct management to any one size class or species class. What I mean by that is the gypsy moss killed trees that are, that white oak there, the backside of that one's 9 inches, 10 inches.
Right behind you.
White, there's a white oak that's 20 inches, okay. It's killed our management class, it's killed our trees here that we can direct any management towards. We weren't planning to do anything here. This was one of 2 good oak areas on this particular, oak stands on this game lands that were going to be set aside for mass production, wildlife benefits. We're in the wildlife business. Pennsylvania Game Commission is all about wildlife. Habitat work is the area I come into and my guys come into. Bruce does the same thing, Scott does the same thing in a different venue. All in the game land system. So we're about habitat, and in order to deal with this, we have to respond to what's happened here. I can't change what's here. I can't alter what conditions we have here. So we have to respond to what's here. As a result of that, we looked at this site, gathered some stand data, looked at mortality, and unfortunately, 71% of the oak here is dead. And oak makes up 70% of this particular stand. So the net result is we don't have a whole lot of options here.
Your other major issue is going to be when you open this stand up. You see a little bit of mile a minute now because these smaller trees are providing a little bit of shade. Mile a minute needs full sunlight. So once you do anything, or even in the openings in here where there is full sunlight, the mile a minute will move in. To take care of that, we will be spraying this site with a herbicide, Oust. It affects stiltgrass, ferns, mile a minute weed. It will not kill our oak seedlings. This site, like I said, will be sprayed with Oust, and that's it. Because basically we obviously don't want to kill these trees. We want to knock those species back so that when they do get full sunlight, the mile a minute doesn't immediately invade here and cover those trees up. If I can keep mile a minute out of a site for the first 2 years and get vegetative growth about knee high, I can pretty much keep mile a minute to a minimum, because mile a minute dies every year and reseeds from the seed. It doesn't, it's just a 1-year plant. So if I can get some ground cover and shade cover on the ground, those seeds on the ground now are not getting the sunlight and won't regerminate. Minimum secret with invasives is you get on it right away before it's a big problem. If you wait 2 years, you might as well give up or spend so much money, you break yourself spending money taking care of it. Like I said, I also touched on fern. Fern is not an invasive, another big issue. Are we going to walk down through here? As we walk